Welcome back to the show. You're listening to AIM Ocala Live as we are broadcasting to you live, and we are streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, the Source Radio. As we're moving right along now, 8:52, coming up on the top of the 9 o'clock hour. But before we do, as we wrapped up there with our interview with Dr. Joel Zive and the idea of interesting ideas when it comes to the authentic generic drugs. As we move on, though, as we're going to talk a little bit about, well, with everything that's gone on with this tumultuous time of COVID-19 and now reaching the pinnacle of what would be hurricane season. Well, we've got a little bit of information to talk about with Mandy Hale as she comes to us here on the phone in part of DaVita Kidney Care to discuss a little bit about what the importance is when it comes to the average patient with the end stage of kidney disease receives life-sustaining dialysis treatments 3 times a week. Missing just one treatment can greatly affect their health and weaken their immune system. So in the idea of what that means if they have to evacuate for a hurricane or if there is another surge or wave of what it means for the virus and what that means to adapt to the situation, to continue the treatment. We have Mandy to talk about that. Good morning, Mandy. How are you doing today?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing well.
Excellent. So yeah, I'll leave it to you to talk a little bit about, the idea of how important it is for the patients who are getting the care to continue that treatment.
Yeah, you bet. Well, as you mentioned, dialysis is actually a life-sustaining treatment. So for our patients, they can't miss their treatments. So we have to take extra precautions and planning when things happen, such as natural disasters, of course, this pandemic and COVID-19 virus, to help our patients be safe and help them effectively arrive to their dialysis treatments or continue treating at home for our patients who do that.
Right. Now tell us a little bit about DaVita Kidney Care and who exactly you treat.
Sure. DaVita Kidney Care, we are a U.S.-wide, a U.S.-wide dialysis company, and we also have some dialysis clinics outside of the U.S. as well. But specifically for us here in the U.S., we have more than 200,000 patients who actually have kidney disease, and we provide dialysis for. And we do that in a few different ways. Some patients come into our dialysis facilities 3 times a week to have hemodialysis. We also have patients that we provide dialysis treatments for in their homes. These are patients who perform peritoneal dialysis or home hemodialysis. And then for patients who are hospitalized, we actually partner with hospitals to provide in-hospital dialysis treatment.
Oh, wow. So quite the array, that's for sure. And, what we're getting into specifically, too, as we just prefaced that before you told us a little bit about who you guys treat and everything, let's get right to it. What, with the height of hurricane season now coming, we're in September, and we've got two depressions or 2 things to watch for over the Atlantic Basin as they're coming through. And what we saw just a few weeks ago when it came to Hurricane Laura. What should people do to prepare for hurricane?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we have kind of routine or best demonstrated practices for hurricane preparedness for our patients. So we're able to, every year around this time, help them prepare and think through these situations. But there are, of course, additional considerations now that we are simultaneously facing a pandemic. So as always, we have our patients make sure they're prepared with at least 3 days of food and water and 2 weeks of medications. We also print a lot of their health records for them to keep on hand, such as their dialysis prescription, their medications, that sort of thing. These are things we would do every year. Additionally, though, now that we're facing COVID-19 as well, we are having our patients prepare by having several masks and hand sanitizer as well in their emergency preparedness kit. We also provide them with instructions about staying safe in the event that they needed to evacuate. So for our patients, we would prefer that they evacuate in a home, and that's so they can maintain social distancing and things like that. In the event that they were unable to evacuate to a home, though, we really reinforce wearing that mask, cleaning hands often, and maintaining that 6-foot social distance from others.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is all that vital information that's necessary to say, like, hey, it's really about just making the notion now to get some kind of plan in place.
Absolutely. That's absolutely right. For our patients, for all patients who have kidney disease, you can't tell that by looking at somebody. And so it's really important for us to always be aware that others may have some sort of illness or condition that can make them more susceptible to a virus or have a weakened immune system. So we really stress that for our patient population and for the general population.
Absolutely. Now, the big thing here is, with all the information we're giving, where can the listeners go to find even more information on how to be best prepared?
I would recommend our website. That is, and I'll say it twice just to make sure everyone gets it. That's DaVita.com. So DAVITA, DaVita.com. And we have all sorts of resources about emergency preparedness on there for individuals who do have kidney disease specifically.
Excellent, excellent. And with that website, that's where the journey begins of being able to find what they can do to kind of put some of the things together with their situation, knowing that everybody's situation may be different and some of the logistics of such, but that's what you guys offer there with all the information, like we mentioned, davita.com/emergency preparedness. Well, we thank you very much for the time, as it's a lot of good, important stuff, as we mentioned, and with that in mind, too, it's the right time of year to have this conversation, isn't it, considering where we're at now, coming through this time of year, the fall and September, when it comes to hurricane season.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for allowing me the time to share this with your listeners.
Absolutely, absolutely. We appreciate it, and you guys enjoy the Labor Day weekend coming up, and we appreciate it. WOCA, got more good show coming your way, as we say. Stay tuned. Up next is the Veterans News here at the top of the 9 o'clock hour. We'll give you our national news as well as your Farmer Ranch headlines. And then following that, Hank and Gary will bring it to you with Veterans News as we do on Thursdays. So stay tuned. More AM Ocala Live right back after this.
News. I'm Chris Foster. New Fox News polls show Joe Biden leading President Trump in 3 states the president won in 2016: Arizona, North Carolina, and Wisconsin.
In the 3 states, Biden holds large advantages with women, Hispanics, and suburban voters. The president is the choice among whites without college degrees and rural voters. The president is seen as equal to or better than Biden on the economy, while likely voters in all 3 states say Biden would be better in battling COVID-19.
Fox's Bernal Scott. The president's ordered a review of how federal funding might be withheld from state and city governments that he says allow violence and anarchy.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo suggesting the president has some kind of vendetta.
I think it's because he is from New York City, and New York City rejected him.
Any funding cuts expected to face legal challenges.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. America's listening to Fox News.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. There's no better feeling than grilling out, and there's no better place than Ace to get the best grill for you and your family. We have the hottest grills from top brands like Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Weber. And since our stores are locally owned and we're committed to helping our neighbors, we'll also assemble and deliver your grill for free. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their grills. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members through September 7th on grills and accessories $3.99 and up. See participating stores for scheduling or exclusions.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your renter's insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Great. As a minimalist, I need simple insurance.
Nice place. No furniture?
Nothing spark joy, except for this fruit bowl.
Well, with Liberty Mutual, you only pay for what you need, so there's that.
I mean, look. So beautiful. So empty again.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Some would say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain.